What if I told you that the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed, has kidnapped his own daughters and kept them imprisoned? Discover the dark secrets behind the royal family as we delve into the shocking escapes, heart-wrenching betrayals, and one princess who chose to give up everything for unimaginable wealth. Stay tuned to uncover the controversial actions of Sheikh Mohammed, the scandalous affair of Princess Haya, and the luxurious life of Shika Mahra. You won't believe the lengths this family has gone to for power and control. Before we get into the lucky person and what they did to get so lucky, let's look at a popular concept: the carrot and the stick. This concept has been used in many fictional and non-fictional scenarios to define being lenient, or even rewarding those who obey, while offering punishment to those who disobey the ruler. It's a basic tactic that has been used when one is trying to get others to submit to them. Some even describe it as a show of power to prove the ruler's point, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum strongly supports that idea. The ruler of Dubai and the vice president of the United Arab Emirates is very popular when it comes to the measures he will take to impose his will on his family. The sheikh is unforgiving towards any betrayal, and he does everything he can to deal with those who betray him. There have been many stories and controversies surrounding how he deals with situations like these, and we will look at some of them quickly. It is believed that a father will do anything to protect their children. This is very true for Sheikh Mohammed as well. The sheikh has several daughters, one of which is Shika Latifa, who was very popular in 2018 for a very controversial video she posted around that time. United Arab Emirates law prioritizes the legal rights of men above women when it comes to marriage, divorce, and even the custody of children. As a result, Shika Latifa wasn't allowed to travel and study outside Dubai, especially without being with a male guardian of sorts. This life proved to be uncomfortably restrictive for the young princess, who enjoyed activities like skydiving and dreamed of studying to be a doctor. This led the princess to plan her escape from her pretty wealthy life for about 7 years, making every necessary preparation, such as training in extreme sports, acquiring a fake passport, and even smuggling cash to a network of conspirators. She even hired a yachtsman to pick her up off the coast and take her to India or Sri Lanka, from where she planned to fly to the United States and claim asylum. She enlisted the help of Zhao Yainen, her capoeira teacher, and the plan seemed good for a while. But a week after the voyage had started, the young princess was caught as masked men with assault rifles seized her and returned her home. The young princess prepared a video in the event of her capture, a 40-minute testimony stating how her father was responsible for torturing and imprisoning numerous women who disobeyed him. She mentioned how, at the age of 16 in 2002, she had tried to cross into neighboring Oman in an escape attempt but was caught, imprisoned, tortured, and denied medical help, all thanks to her father. She claimed her older sister had suffered in captivity under sedation after she tried to escape 18 years earlier, and her aunt had been murdered for her disobedience. Shika Latifa's older sister, Sheikha Shamsa, was allegedly seized on the streets of Cambridge in England after running away from the Dubai royal family's British estate in Surrey in 2000. Shika Latifa said in her video that her sister was drugged and smuggled back into Dubai by security officers working for her father. Sheikh Mohammed isn't only strong-handed with his children, as there have been stories of him being equally strong-handed with some of his wives. Take his ex-wife, Princess Haya bint Al Hussein, for example. The princess married Sheikh Mohammed on April 10, 2004, at the Al Baraka Palace in Amman, Jordan, and the marriage seemed to be going well. She gave birth to 2 children, Sheikha Al-Jalila bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum on December 2, 2007, and Sheikh Zayed bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum on January 7, 2012. However, things didn't look as they seemed, and the sheikh divorced her on February 7, 2019, without her knowledge, on grounds of betrayal and infidelity. A few months later, she absconded from the country with her 2 children in the hopes of getting asylum in Germany. Sheikh Mohammed, who is an occasional couplet writer, posted a poem on Instagram referring to her betrayal and love. Apparently, it turns out that Princess Haya had been having an affair with her bodyguard and even paid about $9 million to keep it under wraps. Princess Haya filed for sole custody of the children, a forced marriage protection order, and a non-molestation order at the High Court of Justice in the United Kingdom, and the court ruled that the sheikh may have committed the crime of taunting the princess after her extramarital affair with her bodyguard became known, which, according to the court, amounted to subjecting Princess Haya to a campaign of intimidation, allegedly including guns placed on her pillow. The court also ruled that Sheikh Mohammed's agents had used the Israeli Pegasus spyware to hack Princess Haya's phone, as well as the phones of her personal assistant, 2 members of her security team, and her solicitors in the summer of 2020. The court's judgment referred to the hacking as a violation of fundamental common law and ECHR rights, interference with the process of this court and the mother's access to justice, and abuse of power by a head of state. Ultimately, Princess Haya was granted full custody of her 2 children, along with alimony and support amounting to about $720 million. At the time, the court declared that Sheikh Mohammed should not have any direct contact with his children, nor should he have any input into the decision-making about their lives. A lot of people saw this as a hard-fought victory for Princess Haya, as she escaped so much possible abuse while managing to keep her children, especially since there are stories of Sheikh Mohammed banning his first wife from entering the country and seeing her children after she divorced him. While there have been many stories of members of the royal family who've experienced the bad side of the sheikh, there is one family member who has experienced the good side of the Dubai ruler. The family member in question is Shika Mahra bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the only daughter of Sheikh Mohammed and his ex-Greek wife, Zoe Grigorikos. The marriage between the sheikh and Zoe Grigorikos was shrouded in mystery. However, the two engaged in misyar marriage, otherwise known as traveler marriage. This kind of marriage is a form of contractual marriage that renounces some of the rights of the husband and wife, while allowing for some benefits, without it being considered adulterous or against Islamic laws. Thanks to this temporary marriage, both parties were free from the commitment, while their children were considered legitimate under Islamic customs. Shika Mahra was born on February 26, 1994, and she completed her primary education at a private institute in Dubai. She later moved to London, where she graduated with a degree in international relations, then enrolled in Zayed University and studied at the American University in Dubai. She is considered one of the most beautiful daughters of the ruler of Dubai, so beautiful that she was considered one of the world's top 10 most beautiful Muslim women in 2020, according to the popular magazine Philgap. It is believed that the mix of Arab blood from her father with the Greek-Polish blood of her mother has culminated in the eye-catching beauty that she is today. Apart from being a pretty popular princess, she is also a well-known businesswoman, online influencer, and philanthropist, and she is connected to several charitable organizations. Her philanthropic efforts play a significant role in raising awareness of societal issues, especially since the princess is also an advocate for women. She is known to empower local designers in the UAE by attending events such as the Icons exhibition. The temporary marriage between Sheikh Mohammed and Zoe Grigorikos came to an end when Shika Mahra was born. However, following her birth, her mother named her Christina. The sheikh provided her with enough funding, amounting to about $90 million for her to get a house in London with her daughter. But things changed when Christina clocked 16 years of age. At this point, the sheikh gave the young princess an unusual and unprecedented choice: to renounce her name, her past religion, as well as all past and even future European life in exchange for wealth like no other, and handing over her life to her father. It goes without saying, but there are many who would make this choice in a heartbeat. Young Christina was one of those many, as she quickly moved to Dubai and renounced Christianity and all European life along with it. She subsequently changed her name from Christina to Mahra, and got the title of Shika, meaning princess. Sure enough, her life improved significantly, and while she never contradicted her father, she maintained appearances on social media, posting pictures in expensive outfits studded with precious stones. Even with the major change that came with her newfound life and religion, she still maintained a more exposed form of dressing compared to her sister, as she didn't cover her hair like them. Of course, this came with many criticisms, but that didn't stop Shika Mahra from flaunting daddy's gifts and wealth, the biggest of which was the arranged marriage he planned for her. Sheikh Mohammed planned for his daughter, Shika Mahra, to marry Sheikh Mana Al Maktoum, another member of the Dubai ruling family and one of her cousins. Sheikh Mana is a 34-year-old super wealthy entrepreneur and passionate traveler who is associated with some of the largest companies in the UAE, including the GCI Real Estate Development Company, Group of Companies, Dubai Tech, and Al Barada Trading. Sheikh Mohammed was completely invested in making his daughter's wedding as extravagant as possible, second only to his own wedding, known as the most expensive wedding in the world. The couple exchanged their vows during the Khatib al-Kitab ceremony in April, and this blissful event marked the marriage contract signing, solidifying their commitment to each other in the presence of their families and esteemed guests. The grand wedding celebration took place on May 27, 2023, and was held at the Zabil Hall of the Dubai World Trade Center. This ceremony was highly anticipated since their announcement in April, creating a buzz of excitement among their families, friends, and well-wishers. Shika Mahra complimented her husband's traditional Emirati attire with her huge white ball gown, featuring thousands of Swarovski crystals with a 3-meter-long cape and a transparent flowing veil, all thanks to the very prestigious Dubai fashion house, Ezra Couture. She completed her Grecian-themed attire with a gorgeous diamond necklace, bracelet, and ring, as well as a diamond watch by Chopard. While the princess aimed for modesty, it really was a very expensive event, with guests including dignitaries, celebrities, and respected members of society. Shika Mahra holds a special place in her father's heart, with a wedding more extravagant than any other. But this story is far from over. Ever wondered about the one wife who didn't run from Sheikh Mohammed? Is she truly happy or living a life of hidden turmoil? Click on the next video to uncover the shocking truth about Sheikh Mohammed's only wife who stayed. Trust me, you won't want to miss this.